Hey, good morning, dear ones. I hope you're well. It is a bleak, gray, rainy morning here in Nashville, and was not real pleasant to leave the house, honestly, this morning. It's not even like it's a cold, like it doesn't even feel like it's winter. It just feels blah, like it's like 50 degrees and it's gray and rainy and gross. So I know, not a great combination for me. However, that very grayness this morning and the fact that the sun is not up reminded me of something really wonderful. As I was leaving, all of my neighbors' Christmas lights were far brighter and far more obvious and enjoyable to me because it is such a bleak and gray morning. It magnified the impact of those Christmas lights, and which reminded me of a time years ago. I was driving. I had a kind of a long drive, and it was dusk. It was about this time of year, and a little after dusk actually, and it just struck me how much as I was driving down kind of through the back rural way, how beautiful all of the Christmas lights, like every window pretty much had a Christmas tree in it, all these beautiful lights, and because I was driving, it wasn't like I could see if the trees were nice or kind of, were they real or fake, were they like ratty or full, like were the ornaments lights. All I could just see was, in this coming darkness, the lights were bright and beautiful and very welcome. It really struck me, and I enjoyed those lights as I did this morning all the more for the fact that it was kind of dark. Here's where I'm going with this, and this is not something, I'm not pretending this is some super profound insight or anything, okay? But we live in a world that feels very dark at times. I mean, just our own personal journeys, but larger things in the world can also feel heavy and dark. We live in a violent, war-filled, anger-filled, contention-filled, hate-filled, time. But I really don't think that's how most of us want it to be, if that makes sense. And what I found is that when people are going through dark times, a little light goes a long way. A little love, a little kindness, even something very minimal can have a huge impact. Just like those lights on the trees, the darkness when I was driving had a huge impact on me, far greater than if it had been light and beautiful outside. So I'm resolving anew and invite you to do the same thing, encourage you to do the same thing, to just try to be the light, spread the light, be the light for someone who's struggling. As bad as my life may be, I've learned, no matter how much I'm going through at any given time, there is always someone near me who's having a worse time. It's just inevitably the case, always and forever. So, be the lights this season. Reach out to people in kindness. Do what you can to alleviate suffering in any little way you can, however you can, whenever you can, for whomever you can. And I think that's a really happy way to live. It does a lot of good for other people, but I think it also does a lot of good for the person who's trying to do that. I actually know it does a lot of good. So I want you to be happy. I'm sending you light and love. I think you're amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Love, your internet grandpa.